Hello. It's that time in the evening when we take a look at the weather elsewhere around the world, and we've got an extremely dangerous hurricane bearing down on Mexico. You can see it here clearly on the satellite picture. Another storm just to the south and east of it. This is Willa, that storm, and it started Monday. It's a top-end Category 4 hurricane, so it's very, very close to a Category 5. It may intensify further. Either way, it's going to really pack a punch with destructive winds, storm surge, life-threatening storm surge, and up to 6 to 12 inches of rain. And then combine that with the next storm coming in very close or hot on its heels, and that will enhance the rains further. So at the moment, it looks like Willa will intensify a little more and then perhaps also start to decrease before making landfall, but it'll still be a very powerful storm, hitting, we think, on Tuesday, and Vicenta possibly later on Tuesday as well. Combining forces rain-wise, it could be exceptional. And even ahead of it, it's throwing up rain across Texas and southern states. And we've had flooding here through the weekend and our first flurries of snow further north in Chicago. So really quite contrasting seasons of weather, if you like, across the United States at the moment. And that's what we're seeing actually as we head to South America, because here we've got all the rain started in the north, and it has, however, been a really chilly start to spring further south, and temperatures again across Patagonia are going to drop significantly in the next few days. We've had some unusually wet weather for the West Sahara to start the week. We've got rains to come in through Tanzania and indeed across Kenya. Now, we had flash flooding in parts of the Middle East over the weekend, and we're concerned for the Levant region because this storm system in the Mediterranean is heading into the Levant, Turkey and the north of the Middle East. So I'll come back to that. As we head into Asia now, we've got some rain which will clear the frosts away that we've seen in Japan. It's also looking quite wet across Indochina, courtesy of a low pressure in the Bay of Bengal. And then this here is a potential typhoon to come, heading towards the Marianas and Guam right now. It's warming this week for Australia and cooling for New Zealand. The storms that we've seen, the intense thunderstorms across Queensland, are tending to ease away, but this weather front here, a cold weather front, will introduce that colder air for New Zealand. And will this one, here's a cold weather front, will introduce colder air across northern Europe, eventually further south. But this is the storm system we're concerned about. There are now red warnings in force across parts of Italy because of the rain. We've seen flash flooding in Malaga this weekend. There's a lot of moisture and energy in the Mediterranean at the moment, and we are concerned about the amount of rain it's going to give, not just through Italy, but through Greece and Turkey in the coming few days, as that low pressure drifts its way gradually east. Was also affecting the north of Africa, and some strong winds with it. Now, I talked about some cold air coming in, but behind this system, as you can see in the north, we get that cold air flooding southwards. So we could, by the end of the week, start to see our first real Arctic blast across the eastern side of Europe and later further west as well. So there's lots going on with the world weather as there is here in the UK, and there'll be an update on the UK